So my predictions for the first set of Group B fixtures were quite spot on, where I predicted Nigeria to defeat Burundi and I did predict a draw between Madagascar and Guinea. For the opening matches in Group B of the 2019 African Cup of Nations, we saw Nigeria, the team I'm following at the tournament, taking on Burundi. That game ended in a 1-0 win for Nigeria. Like, thank God. The other fixture between Madagascar and Guinea ended in a predicted 2-2 draw. For that game, Guinea opened the scoring first in the 34th minute through Kaba, and then Madagascar equalized early in the second half through Anicet. After being behind, Madagascar took the lead in the 55th minute through Carolus. But in the 66th minute, Francois Kamano converted a penalty to bring Guinea back level. The game ended in a 2-2 draw and both teams walked away with a point. I think Madagascar would be the happier of the two teams here because they're one of the two debutants in Group B. This was a really good draw for Madagascar considering the quality in the Guinean squad. As for stats in this game, Guinea had 15 shots at goal with 3 on target. They had 60% of the possession, 558 passes with an 85% pass completion. They committed 18 fouls. They were shown no yellow cards. For Madagascar, they had only 6 shots at goal with 3 on target. That's pretty good. They were way more clinical than Guinea. They had 40% of the possession, 379 passes with a 75% pass completion. They committed 13 fouls and picked up 3 yellow cards. Guinea's next fixture will be against Nigeria on Wednesday the 26th of June, while for Madagascar they take on Burundi the following day on the 27th of June, which segues nicely into the Nigeria versus Burundi fixture. For this match I predicted a 2-0 win for Nigeria and they ended up being 1-0 victors. For Nigeria, they missed the last 2 AFCON tournaments after winning it in 2013. As for Burundi, this is their first ever AFCON appearance. Fun fact for you guys, fun fact. The debutants Burundi are the lowest ranked team participating at the 2019 African Cup of Nations. So if they get out of this group, they can definitely write themselves an underdog story. As for the Nigerian lineup, Gernot Rowe chose to play a 4-2-3-1 formation. I don't really like this setup one bit. They had Akpe in goal, Shehu at right back who had to go off early. He was replaced by Awaziem. We had Truce Ikong at the back, Omero and Ola Aina, who did a really good job in the game. In the middle of the field is where I have a problem. You have Etebo, Didi, and John Obi Mikel. Like, why is Obi Mikel playing as an attacking midfielder, as a creator? Like, he is not a creative player. He should be playing alongside Didi. You can't have Didi, Etebo, and Mikel in the same team. You're gonna struggle creatively, seriously. Defensively, you're gonna be really good, but going forward, you're gonna struggle. And that's exactly what happened in the game versus Burundi, until changes were made. On the wings, we had exciting players in Alex Iwobi and Samuel Chukwueze. And where I had an issue was in the center forward position, Onu Achu. Like, I never really heard about this guy, and for Gernot Rowe to start him in the first game, I think he was underestimating Burundi. Off the bench, we saw Awaziem, who came on for the injured Shehu, and to great effect, Ahmed Musa and Odion Ighalo, who I think should have started. Both these players should be starting games for Nigeria, especially Ahmed Musa. Remember what he did at the World Cup? He is not being treated properly at all. So I think in the next game versus Guinea, some changes need to be made to this 11, especially in the middle of the field and in the center forward position. For the first 30 minutes of the game, Burundi looked the better of the two teams. They were threatening the Nigerian defense, but I think they were pulling the trigger a little bit too early. Most of their shots were speculative attempts that barely troubled the goalkeeper. Well, maybe some of them put him in a spot of bother, but I expected him to save most of them, and he definitely did so. Nigeria had their opportunities, but they were wasteful. Burundi carved out the best chances of the first half, and they even struck the crossbar. Well, the goalie would have gotten there, but the ball did struck the bar anyway. At halftime, it was 0-0, and I was surprised. I was like, how you playing a team like Burundi, the lowest ranked team at the tournament, and you can't breach their defense? very poor first half by Nigeria. Some changes had to be made coming into the second half. In the second half, the game continued where it left off. It was an open game. Burundi enjoyed healthy spells of possession, and Nigeria did as well. Failing to score, Gernot Rowe had to make some changes, and he did so in the 59th minute or so when he brought off Obi Mikel and brought on Ahmed Musa. And I was smiling because I'm like, that was actually a positive move. 70 minutes gone in the game, still no goal. Burundi were frustrating the hell out of Nigeria. They were really good in midfield, and when they went forward, they threatened. They kept the Nigerian defenders very honest. And then Gernot Rowe made the best change of the match when he brought off Onuachu and brought on the China-based striker Odion Ighalo. And I was surprised that Ighalo did not start the game. I don't think he was overly impressive at the World Cup, but this is the African Cup of Nations, and I think he is one of the best strikers that Nigeria has right now, and he repaid dividends when he opened the scoring around the 77th minute. It was an attack on the left. Ola Aina got the ball, and his back pass, that back heel, oh my goodness. That back heel just cut apart the Burundi defense. It was like 3 defenders involved there, and they couldn't touch the ball. Odion Ighalo ran into space, he opened up his body, and he put it past the goalkeeper for the game's only goal. That was an amazing play. Ola Aina, man, hats off to you, man. That was awesome by the Torino man. The game ended 1-0, but Nigeria were made to sweat for that result. And as I said earlier, going into the second game versus Guinea, I don't think it's gonna be that easy. If Nigeria are to compete at the 2019 African Cup of Nations, the selection has to be right, the execution has to be right, everything has to click. Everything, and I mean everything. Samuel Chukwueze, I think, had a very good game. Alex Iwobi can be a bit better. I think he needs to be a bit more settled on the ball. Troost Ekong and Omera did a great job to keep Burundi scoreless, and the goalkeeper did what he had to do as well. I'm definitely looking forward for the match versus Guinea, which would be a sterner test for the Super Eagles. But all in all, Burundi should walk away from this fixture with their heads held high. They played well. They definitely played well. Abdul Razak Berahino and Birigimana were the best players on the day. Cedric Amisi also looks like a very good player. Nigeria's next game will be versus Guinea in a few days, and they need to prepare themselves well for that fixture because I'm expecting nothing but a W to book a place into the round of 16. But guys, I'm your boy Dominic Rich, and if you're new around here, consider hitting the subscribe button. Give the video a big thumbs up, and in the comment section down below, let me know of any big talking points I missed in the video. Guys, until next time, I like to say peace out, Rich Squad.